Oh, today we're talking about a bit of a stinker. Today we are talking about AB 1127, a bill in the state of California that would ban all, and I mean all, Glocks in the state of California. It would ban the sale and transfer of all Glocks and most other striker-fired pistols in the state of California, all because someone could attach a little doohickey to the back of the slide and convert it into a machine gun, something that is already illegal to do. But before we do that, I have to, I don't typically on YouTube talk negatively about other creators when it comes to titles and thumbnails. But I gotta talk about an absolute stinker from my man Will. And now Will, Copper Jacket TV, this was actually a fantastic video of his, but it was obvious in the title and thumbnail that it was intentionally misleading. And yes, it was for a good cause, I will admit that. The thumbnail is Newsom, scratching his head, looking a little angry. Breaking ban passes. Okay, so something passed. It's implying that something was signed into law, right? That's kind of what that seems like. The title, California votes yes to pass Glock ban, heavily implying. I know how titles and thumbnails work. I know the intent was to get people to think that the ban on Glock-style pistols was signed into law. You got Newsom on there, you say the ban passed, you say they voted yes on it. I know what you were trying to get people to think. And I know that it was successful because the amount of comments that I got on my YouTube channel about people saying, yo, they banned Glocks. Glocks are banned. No, that has not happened yet. Now, again, the video was fantastic. If you haven't seen it, go watch it, but you need to watch it knowing that no, this bill has not been passed and signed into law yet. It took an awful long point into the video till it was really made clear that this has not been signed into law yet. So, what's going on? The Glock ban, what's actually happening if you don't want to go watch that video? So, AB 1127 was in a committee, the Judiciary Committee in the state of California, where they are proposing a bill. It was heard by that committee, and people against the bill and for the bill spoke for it. Gun Owners of America and Gun Owners of California had representatives there to talk about it and said that if this was passed into law, that they would sue and they would win. If this was signed into law, when would it go into effect? It would go into effect, I believe, January 1st of 2026. What is the bill? The bill is a ban on the sale or transfer of, it's not directly Glock pistols, but generally that's the most common one. But the way a Glock pistol works is if you were to pop the slide plate off of this and put a device in the back of it, it engages with the cruciform of the Glock. I'm using technical words here, so if you don't understand, basically it's just a little arm lever that sits in the back here. And when it goes forward, it drops the striker, boom. That's the gist of it. If a pistol is able to be converted into a machine gun by adding a singular part to the slide of the pistol, it would be illegal to sell. Even though the machine gun conversion device is already illegal, even though you already can't get those, and you already can't do that, getting the precursor part of just a normal, it's a Shadow Systems Glock, this would be illegal as well. So, it's pretty bad, yes. If this were to pass, it would be huge. We have an interesting thing to consider. Gavin Newsom is likely going to be running for governor, or going to be running for president. It's pretty obvious. He's having a bunch of right-wing people and figureheads on his podcast, trying to frame himself as more of a middle ground progressive. We both know he's not that way. There's actually a chance that Newsom would veto a law like this, but it's unlikely. So, the odds of this passing, unfortunately, are rather high. So what can you do? Reach out to your representative. Inform them that you do not agree with this. If you are a Democrat or a liberal in the state of California, reach out to them and say, hey, sorry, my wake-up alarm is going off. If you are a Democrat or liberal voter in the state of California, reach out to your representative and say, hey, I don't care who I'd have to vote for, but I would vote against you. I don't care if you aren't willing to actually vote for a Republican. Vote for their opposition in the primaries. I don't care. Just say that you're gonna vote for someone that isn't them. Or say that you won't vote for them. Convince them that you, like many others that would vote for this person, are against them banning the most common pistol in use. Should you go out and panic buy a Glock right now? No, don't do that. People are going to ask, well, what about the Gen 5s? The Gen 5s have a built-in polymer piece in the back that prevents the switch from going into place. Don't worry, it doesn't matter. Those would be banned too, because it specifically mentions that a simple polymer lug is not enough to make it not able to be converted. So, we're in a tough spot because this is a bill that realistically could pass, but unfortunately, many people are under the impression that it did pass because someone, Will, made a video with a title and thumbnail that heavily implied that it did pass, intentionally to get people to click on the video. And many people did not make it to the last 2 minutes of the video where it finally became apparent that this was not a bill that had been signed into law. I get it. There's a lot of people that don't really watch the full video. He can't really be held liable for that, but the title and thumbnail was just particularly egregious in this instance, and that's not something I typically criticize people for because I understand the YouTube game. I'm just a little frustrated by it because it's obvious that it very much did mislead the viewers, and I think that it sows distrust in the brand, and I don't know why people do that, but topic for another day. Anyways, this bill is not passed yet. You have a chance to do something. Contact your representative. Tell them to vote no against this when it comes time for votes on it. You guys know the drill. Have fun, be safe, stay dangerous. Peace.